Hello. That's what I'm doing behind. That's insulation. 90 centimetres up from the ground. Foamed on and stuck on and all sorts. Anyway, what I wanted to say this morning, really just to keep things going, is nothing much because it's thinks. I've got thinks. While I'm working away, I'm thinking. And I'm thinking a bit on the free will side, so be warned. But it's a bit of a different angle. And I don't think I'll be able to say much about it. I might just ask a question. In fact, the question is, all these people I talk about free will to and all that sort of stuff, we get to a stage generally, we always pass through the stage where we get to, yeah, you might be right, whatever, but we will always feel as though we've got free will. And I kind of let this pass and then just plug on with the, well, you might or not, but it's wrong. And then we get to the horrible bit where people say that it's just an illusion, and I've got to say, well, who's it an illusion for? And that gets very tricky. But let's go back to the we will always feel as though we have free will. I've given this 3 or 4 sessions of sitting and just thinking, well, what does that actually mean? As in, I can understand why people say it, and I could even understand why I might say it myself, but I have done the sitting and the thinking and the trying to justify what I would be saying, and I can't put it into words very well. So that's what I'm kind of doing this video for, so we can do comments or whatever. When you say, or where I say, or where people say, it feels like I've got free will, what does that actually mean? And I've got nowhere. I'll tell you that as far as I've got, because nowhere, obviously, you get somewhere generally if you do a bit of thinks. But I've put it over towards going back to Antonio Damasio and his, not idea, I think it's kind of scientifically proved or shown, that there's a map in the brain of the human body, and as things happen, it's related to that map, and then other things happen. But there's a map in the brain, so you can go like this, and you can feel, if you really concentrate, you can feel right finger and then left finger, or left and then right finger. You can feel both fingers, but I can feel the weight of the mug. I can feel with my thumb at the back that you can't see, I can feel the heat of the mug. But I can't feel mug, as in I can feel only me. And I can feel me here twice, but here it's only once, or 2 different lots of what are me, and these are mapped out on the brain. And I think what comes in is, yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say. It's a calculation is made by the brain, an analysis, a thought process, a thinking process, a calculation is made by the brain. I can feel hand, I cannot feel mug. Therefore, this is the quick calculation, I am hand, I am not mug. It's a calculation. This obviously, I feel both fingers, I am both fingers. I pick up piece of paper, I drop piece of paper. I think it's purely a calculation that I have dropped the piece of paper. I don't think that there is any actual feeling that I have dropped the piece of paper. So when people, which would normally include myself, would say, well, I feel like I have free will, I don't think that is right. I think the correct description of it is, my brain is capable of calculating that these fingers dropped the piece of paper, and do other calculations, including social inputting, like I am the owner of the hands, I have choice, and it makes a calculation that I have the free will to drop the paper or not. There's no feeling about it at all that I can think, or I can feel. I just I'm not able to feel it, and I just don't think it's a feeling thing. It's purely a calculation thing. This is to say, which I wasn't going to go into, what's the time? 7 minutes, that's all right. That I think the enlightened people that lose their appreciation or feeling, the feeling that they have free will, that they are actually the person that is doing it. It's just a breakdown, I think. It's a breakdown in the calculating in the brain. Something goes on in the brain that makes that calculation no longer possible or temporarily out of order. But this video is really to say that there is no I feel that I have free will. It is I calculate that I have free will. And so when it's put up as a thing, I can just point out that your calculation's just wrong. Okay, let's leave it there. Okay, thanks. Bye.